Alright legends, welcome along to a new episode. We're going to be talking about mastering the art of dealing with passive aggressive behaviour. This one is going to be helpful to a heck of a lot of people, and yeah, let's get into it with whatever amount of tips I've got in my research. Step number one in this is to recognise the signs. Passive aggressive behaviour can manifest in various ways, such as sarcasm, backhanded compliments, the silent treatment, procrastination, or intentional inefficiency. Understanding these signs can help you identify when someone's been passive aggressive. Number two is to stay calm. When confronted with passive aggressive behaviour, try to remain calm and composed. Responding emotionally can escalate the situation and make it more difficult to address the behaviour constructively. Number three is to communicate openly. Encourage open and honest communication. Express your feelings and concerns directly and assertively without being aggressive. Avoid passive aggressive responses yourself, as this can perpetuate the cycle of unhealthy communication. Number four is to set boundaries. Clearly define your boundaries and communicate them to the person exhibiting passive aggressive behaviour. Let them know what behaviour is not acceptable and what consequences may follow if the behaviour continues. Number five is to address the behaviour, not the person. Focus on addressing the specific behaviours that are causing issues rather than attacking the individual. Use I statements to express how their behaviour impacts you and the situation. Number six is to seek clarification. If you're unsure about the intentions behind someone's behaviour, ask for clarification in a non-confrontational manner. This can help clear up any misunderstandings and prevent assumptions from escalating the situation. Number seven is to offer constructive feedback. When providing feedback on the passive aggressive behaviour, be specific and offer suggestions on a more positive and direct way of communicating or addressing issues. Encourage the person to express their thoughts and feelings openly. Number eight is to consider professional help. In some cases, dealing with passive aggressive behaviour may require the assistance of a therapist or a counsellor, especially if the behaviour is deeply ingrained or causing significant distress in relationships or at work. 9 is to practice self-care. Dealing with passive aggressive behaviour can be emotionally draining. Make sure to prioritise self-care activities to maintain your well-being and resilience in challenging situations. Know when to walk away. If despite your efforts the passive aggressive behaviour continues and negatively affects your well-being, it may be necessary to distance yourself from the person or situation to protect your mental health and emotional stability. Alright, so I know this episode is going to be helpful to a heck of a lot of people out there. Passive aggressive behaviour is on the rise in a major way. I haven't seen it as bad as it is at the time of recording this video. If you just go online, like you're going to get it. Even if you're out in the streets at the moment, somebody will have something smart to say to you. It's just one of these things where instead of people dealing with whatever issues they're dealing with, they would sooner come at you with some sort of sarcastic comment or some sort of backhanded thing. I have got 2 or 3 people in particular in mind right at the moment as I'm recording this video. It's one of those things where it's incredibly difficult to deal with at the end of the day, and especially if you're in a work environment, it's incredibly difficult to deal with it on there, because you, especially in a really busy work environment, it's very difficult to get the proper one-on-one time with someone to actually work something out. But you're more likely to end up in a full-blown argument in the workplace. I had a guy on one of my social media accounts. He was on there for years, and it got to the point, you would post something and he'd have some snarky comment to say about it. And I'm thick-skinned. I can take just about anything somebody throws at me. But whenever you get to the point, like I eventually, and they're cowards, these people, at the end of the day. It got to the stage where I was going on to my social media accounts and I was going to update something, and before I pressed the post button, I was getting to the point, what is this guy going to say post off the post would go, and literally within minutes there'd be something smart coming back in. So he said something to me one day on it, completely disagreed with me on something, and I just answered him back for a change. Instead of playing it off, I was just like, okay, you caught me. I'm a liar. You're right, 100%. Started backpedaling and no, 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 no. This is the way you feel about something. That's fine. That's okay. No problem at all. But I was just like, right, it's time for this guy to be off social media. So I took him off, didn't block him or anything. Took him off my social media account. And as I say, people I guess here been absolute cowards at the end of the day. I've met this guy in the streets 2 or 3 times probably since then, and he and it's really, really strange. We've got to the point in society now, and this person I'm talking about isn't a young person either. Like, you know, whenever you're talking about social media and people falling out over social media, you're usually thinking of teenagers, somebody in like teenage years, early 20s. That's usually who you're thinking about whenever someone has a falling out and like, I'm not talking to him anymore. But this guy is older than me. I'm 45. This guy's easily at this point 51, 52 years old. That's insane. And I've met him out a couple of times since then. And all I did was, okay, you're making a mouth out of yourself here. I'm just going to remove you. And remove you off my social medias and just take myself a little step back from the situation, because I just can't be bored with this. I'm out here trying to create content to help people. The last thing I need is you giving it mouth, and you just running your mouth online just to make yourself feel a little bit better. But for a guy 51 years old, bumped into in the street a couple of times. As soon as he seen me coming, he put the head down and walked the other way. Did his best to avoid me. Met him. I was out shopping one weekend. Met him and his wife, and the two of them literally any aisle in the shop I was on, they would be in a different one. They wouldn't cross paths with me, and it was just because I just finally made the decision. I've had enough of this passive aggressive behaviour. Out you go. Crazy times. But as I say, this stuff here can be very, very stressful, depending on your situation. Now, in the workplace, the last place you need somebody to be passive aggressive. It's hard enough to get your day's work on at times without someone trying to make your day a heck of a lot worse just to make themselves feel better. So it's all in them at the end of the day. It's got absolutely nothing to do if you're the one that's constantly getting somebody being passive aggressive towards you. Don't let it fizz on you. It's just like whatever's going on in their life, you didn't cause it. And it's just with like this guy I took off of social media. I didn't cause whatever's annoying him, but for some reason he thought, oh, here's a target. So just politely let them know, look, whatever's going on, it's not my fault. I didn't do anything to you. If you want to talk, we'll talk. But if not, either modify your behaviour, settle your head, stop giving me abuse, and just walk away from it. It's not worth you, particularly in the workplace, it's not worth you getting into an argument and losing your job over somebody else just been, at the end of the day, insecure in their own heads. Right, that's going to do it for this video. I hope it made sense to you. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit that thumbs up button, share it along, do all that good social media stuff. And yeah, stay safe. I will talk to you in the next episode.